My beloved child, I call you to listen at this very moment, for what I am about to reveal cannot be delayed. You are walking a path you do not fully comprehend, for human eyes can only see a fragment, while I see the whole picture. You feel swept away by anxieties, nameless worries, and at times you think you have been abandoned in the fog. Yet know this, from the beginning to the end, all things are in my hands. I have not withdrawn from you, nor am I silent as you imagine. Even when you sense distance, in truth, I am closer than the very breath you draw. As Scripture declares, I will never leave you nor forsake you, Deuteronomy 3:1-6. That promise stands firm for eternity. My child, there are movements in the unseen realm that you can never perceive through ordinary senses. When you believe everything is mere coincidence, in truth, it is divine arrangement. When you think a door closes because of failure, it is actually protection shielding you from perilous depths. You do not see what I see, the snares set in advance, the turns that appear favorable but lead to destruction. You only know the present, but I know the future. You see brokenness while I see the process of renewal. You see tears while I see a harvest being prepared through those very drops. I am the one who turns darkness into light, wandering into direction, and despair into unfading hope. There are times you blame me because your prayers are not answered as you expect. You think I am silent, but in truth, that silence is protection from what you cannot yet understand. If I were to grant your desires before the right time, the very gift could become chains that bind you. Just as a father would never place a sharp knife in the hands of a child too young to bear it, neither will I place in your hands what you are not ready to carry. What you perceive as denial is love in another form. As Jeremiah 2:9-11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans for peace and not for disaster, to give you hope and a future. Remember, I act with an eternal vision, not merely for fleeting moments. I have seen you weep in the night, heard the sighs too deep for words. Not a single tear falls unnoticed. Not one prayer vanishes into nothingness. All are kept in my vessel, and at the appointed time they will pour forth like streams, refreshing the barren fields of your soul. Do not think what you endure is meaningless. I use even failures, mistakes, and interruptions to teach you perseverance and trust. The rugged roads have given you steady feet. The storms have taught you to cling to my hand rather than your own strength. My beloved, I call you not to measure your life by the success of others, nor compare your journey with anyone else. Every soul has a path I designed before the foundation of the world. You are not a copy, you are a masterpiece I crafted. As Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed substance. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Indeed, each step, each turn, each breath rests under my providence. Even the mistakes you think have ruined everything I can turn into the starting point of something good. Nothing can derail the plan I have set as long as you return to me with your whole heart. My child, know this, you were not created merely to exist. You were not made to run endlessly in circles of worry, fear, and emptiness. You were made to bring light into the darkness, to sow hope where there is despair, to become a vessel through which I reveal my love. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are not invisible. You are engraved upon my hand. You are not random. You are a testimony of wisdom and eternal purpose. The world may label you, may belittle you, but my word is the final word, and I declare that you are beloved, you are victorious, you are a child of the King of Kings. Receive this word as a call to awakening. Do not wait until everything collapses before you seek me. Do not wait until darkness surrounds you before you remember the light. Even now I am extending my arms to welcome you. I am knocking on the door of your heart, longing to enter and heal the hidden wounds you carry. You do not need to conceal your weakness before me, for it is in your weakness that my power is made perfect. As the Apostle Paul wrote, "When I am weak, then I am strong," 2 Corinthians 1:2-1:0. You do not need to pretend to be flawless, only to be honest and surrender. That is the starting point of a great transformation. My child, pause for a moment and listen carefully. My voice is not loud like thunder, but gentle as a whispering breeze. Yet it is this gentleness that can shatter chains, heal deep wounds, and bring forth new life. You have wandered seeking in people, possessions, success, and relationships to fill the emptiness of your soul, but none of these can make you whole. Only my presence is your true home. Only my love is the anchor that steadies your soul in the storms. Come back to me. Do not delay. The time is now. What has been lost I can restore. What has been broken I can mend. What has died I can bring back to life. But first you must respond with a wholehearted yes. Not just with lips, not just in convenient moments. Offer me your whole being, your joys and your fears, your light and your darkness. I already know it all, yet I have still chosen you. And I have never ceased to love you. My beloved child, I know there are empty spaces within you that you have tried to fill with countless things, but the more you chase after them, the emptier you feel. I have heard your sighs in the stillness of the night when no one else is near and you are left facing yourself. I know the weariness of your soul does not come merely from work responsibilities or outward pressures, but from the deep longing within that has not been fulfilled. You are searching for a place to belong, a safe harbor, a love that never changes. And my child, I am what you are searching for. As Psalm 6:2-1 declares, "Truly my soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from Him." I engraved that longing into your soul so that it would guide you back to me. The world may promise satisfaction, but it only leaves you empty. You may reach every goal, but without my presence, your heart will still feel void. On the other hand, even if you hold nothing in your hands, if you have me, your soul will overflow with peace. This is why I call you to place me at the center. When you seek me first, everything else will be added. When you give me the highest place, every piece of your life will fall into its rightful place. Do not think that I pursue you because I lack something. I am the self-existent one. I need nothing to be complete. But I long for you because my love is too deep to leave you behind. That love does not arise from your perfection, but from my very nature. No matter how far you stray, I still watch over you, still call your name, still wait for your return. You may forget me, but I will never forget you. As Isaiah 4:9-1-6 says, "See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands." Reflect on this. Is there any love more steadfast and faithful than this? There have been times you questioned me. Why is the road so rough? Why do dreams shatter? Why are prayers unanswered? You thought I was silent, yet in that silence I was working. You assumed I had abandoned you, yet in truth I was preparing something greater. Like a skilled craftsman, I am never in haste. I know how long it takes to shape you into a vessel of purpose. I know how much testing is needed to refine your faith. And I know the exact moment when the time is right to open the door. You see delay, but I see preservation. You see disappointment, but I see the preparation that will lead you into maturity. Do not be deceived into thinking your worth is measured by achievements or the approval of others. The world may cheer you today and turn its back tomorrow, but my gaze never changes. You are precious because you belong to me, not because of how much you achieve. You are valuable because I paid the price of my only Son's blood to redeem you. When Jesus declared on the cross, "It is finished," John 1:9-30, he was not merely ending a crucifixion, but proclaiming that the ransom for your soul had been paid in full. Your worth has been sealed by that sacrifice. So what else could ever cause you to doubt my love and my good intentions for your life? You may feel unworthy, believing that past mistakes have stained your future. But my child, remember this. My grace is greater than all your failures. There is no sin too heavy that the blood of the Lamb cannot cleanse. There is no wound too deep that my hand cannot heal. There is no pit too dark that my light cannot pierce. You may think you have gone too far, but with just one step of turning back, you will see that I have been waiting right there for you all along. Look back at the traces in your life. How many times did you think you would collapse, yet somehow you stood up again? Who upheld you in those very moments? How many times did you believe the door was closed forever, only to find another way suddenly open? Who arranged that you may have called it luck, but in truth it was. My silent love poured over you. Nothing has been random. Every event has been woven into a meaningful design. Every crack, every scar has become a brushstroke in the masterpiece I am completing in you. I do not only want you safe, I want you abundant. I do not only rescue you from the pit, I set your feet upon solid rock so that you may become a source of encouragement to others. Your life is not just a private journey, but a living testimony. When others see the transformation in you, they will know that I am at work, so do not despise the small steps and do not disregard the hidden seasons. Everything holds value in my greater plan. Therefore, walk in trust even when you do not understand. Believe that I am the one steering the wheel of time. Knowing that there is no shaking, I cannot turn into an opportunity to build you. I do not require you to understand everything, I only call you to remain faithful. When you place your trust in me, you will witness the impossible become possible, doors once locked, swinging wide open, and dreams once thought dead coming alive again. Let me be the author of your story, for it is a story written in love, sealed in blood, and upheld by eternal faithfulness. My beloved, I want you to understand that this present moment is not ordinary. It is a sacred hour I have appointed to awaken your soul. You have spent years chasing what is fleeting, hoping it would satisfy you, but it only left you empty. I have whispered your name gently many times, but today I must stir you more urgently, because the weight of this moment demands an immediate response. Not to frighten you, but to help you realize that the choices you make today will lay the foundation for tomorrow. Remember, my child, I never work by chance. Every movement in your life, both blessings and trials, carries purpose. When a door closes, it is not punishment, but protection. When a dream shatters, it is not the end, but the beginning of a new journey. When you find yourself walking through the valley of darkness, it is not because I have abandoned you, but because I am teaching you to walk by faith and not by sight. As Psalm 2:3-4 declares, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. My presence is the light that guides you through every shadowed path." There have been times you cried out, "Why are you silent, Lord?" Know this, my child, silence does not mean absence. Just as a teacher remains quiet during the test, I am still there, watching each step you take. I know your limits, and I know your potential. I never allow a trial beyond what you can bear without also providing a way out. You may think yourself too weak, but in truth I am shaping you into a spiritual warrior. The scars you carry will become proof of the victories I have given. The failures that once brought you down will transform into a living testimony of the strength of grace. Do not measure success or failure by the world's standards. What is exalted by man may be worthless before me, while what they despise may be a treasure in my eyes. Remember the words of the Apostle Paul. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. 2 Corinthians 4:1-7. What you endure today is not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you for an everlasting reward. Do not lose faith by staring at the brief present. Lift your eyes, for I am leading you toward a future greater than you can imagine. I know you have felt exhausted, ready to give up many times. But listen carefully, it is precisely when you are weakest that my strength shines most clearly. You were never made to fight alone. I have given you my Spirit as comforter, counselor, and strengthener. You are not alone in this battle. My angels are serving beside you. My word is a sharp sword in your hand. All of heaven stands behind you. So what reason do you have to fear? My child, I call you to stop running in circles of indifference. Do not let the distractions of this world choke my voice within you. Do not let fear keep you trapped in an invisible cage. Dare to release the burdens you still cling to. Dare to entrust me with your dreams, your wounds, even your unanswered questions. I do not ask you to come in perfection, but in honesty. Come as you are, and I will do the rest. Your obedience today will open doors for generations to come. You are not living only for yourself, but also for those who will be shaped by your choices. Your yes can release an entire bloodline from bondage. Your faith can inspire those who are in despair. Your faithfulness can pave the way for the breakthrough that many others are praying for. Understand that your life carries spiritual weight. It is not merely personal existence. You were created for such a time as this. It is no accident that you are where you are now. It is no coincidence that you are hearing these words. This is a divine appointment. Every pain you have endured, every moment you thought all was lost, has been leading to this moment, the moment I am inviting you into true transformation. Do not wait any longer. Do not search for excuses to delay. Time does not belong to you. Respond now while my call still echoes in your heart, my beloved child. Open your hands and heart wide. Allow me into the hidden corners no one has ever touched. Allow me to heal the wounds you thought had turned to stone. Allow me to restore the dreams buried beneath the dust of disappointment. Allow me to rewrite your story with the ink of grace and light. You do not need to know everything ahead of time. You only need to know that I hold the future. And I declare that your future is filled with hope, peace, and abundance. So breathe deeply and release your burdens. Step out of fear and into the freedom I have prepared. Remember, you are not destined to live in failure, but to reflect my glory. You are a child of light. You are a work in progress. You are the evidence of everlasting love, and you are the delight of my eyes. I speak this with certainty. You belong to me, and I will never let you go. My beloved, I want you to know that every step you take is never outside of my providence. Even when you believe you are lost in dead ends, I am paving a way unseen by your eyes. What you think is failure is in my sight only a transition leading you to a new chapter. What you perceive as loss is in my plan, a release from burdens you did not recognize. As written in Isaiah 5:5-8-9, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways, my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." My child, remember, you cannot measure my work through the narrow lens of human understanding. There are battles you know nothing about that are being fought in the spiritual realm. While you sleep, my angels are still warring on your behalf. When you pray, your prayers do not vanish but become weapons in the heavens. When you are weak, my power is perfected in you. You are never alone in these unseen battles. Though you may feel weary, countless interventions have quietly kept you standing to this day. If not for my covering, the enemy would have devoured you long ago. But I have built a hedge of protection around you, and no arrow can pierce it when you dwell under the shadow of my wings. I know your heart has often asked, "Why have my desires not come to pass? Why do opportunities vanish so quickly? Why am I delayed while others advance?" You cannot see the traps laid ahead, but I see them. You cannot see the roads leading to destruction, but I know them well. That is why I have blocked, closed, and stopped certain things, not to disappoint you, but to keep you safe. Do not misunderstand my refusals. They are not abandonment, but proof of my deep love. For if I gave you what you longed for at the wrong time, it could become chains around your soul. Out of love, I chose to protect you, rather than to please you in the moment. My child, I want you to learn to trust me beyond your emotions. True faith is not found only when things go your way, but when you cling to me, even in the foggiest days. Just as Abraham obeyed, though he did not know where he was going. Hebrews 1:18. You are also called to walk without seeing the full map. I do not require you to understand it all, but I call you to trust the one who knows it all. When you let me lead, you will experience what you never dared to dream. When you surrender, you will discover true freedom. Look back at the moments when I saved you without your knowing. How many times were you spared from danger by a hair's breadth? How many times were your wrong decisions stopped just in time? How many times did you call it luck, when in fact it was my hand intervening? You have been kept safe, not by your own strength, but by my continual protection. And if I have kept you in the past, trust that I will keep you now and in the future. My wisdom is not bound by time or space. I see the end from the beginning. I know every turn, every detour, every storm that will come. You may see chance, but I see arrangement. You may see interruption, but I see an opportunity to train your soul. You may see delay, but I see preparation. Believe this, not a single step you take is wasted. Even when you wander off, I can use that very path to teach you a precious lesson and bring you back onto the road I have ordained. Do not let fear of the unknown keep you captive. Instead of worrying about tomorrow, place tomorrow in my hands. Instead of straining to control everything, trust that I am in control of all. Instead of clinging tightly to what you think is safe, release it and receive true protection. As Psalm 91 declares, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." That is the safest place for your soul, not in the plans you build for yourself, but in my presence. I am writing a story far greater than you imagine. Today's trials are not the end, but a springboard into tomorrow's glory. Today's wounds will become proof of extraordinary healing. Today's losses will turn into opportunities to see the worth of grace. Every detail, every event is being woven into a divine tapestry, and one day when you look back, you will be amazed to realize that I never overlooked a single thread. My beloved child, I know delays in life often trouble you. You see others moving forward and you wonder why you are left behind. You hear promises of a bright future, yet around you only closed walls seem to stand. You cry out, but heaven appears silent. Understand this, my silence is not absence, but preparation. I am never silent without reason. When I am silent, I am working behind the scenes, arranging what you cannot yet see. When I delay, I am keeping you from the ruin that haste could bring. As Ecclesiastes 3:1 declares, He has made everything beautiful in its time. Yes, everything has its appointed season, and my timing is never wrong. You often long for things to happen instantly. You want prayers answered immediately, dreams fulfilled at once, doors opened without delay. But remember, a seed cannot blossom overnight. It needs time to take root in the soil, to endure days of darkness before breaking through into the sunlight. So it is with your life. There are foundations I must establish in secret. If I were to give you success before you are ready, that success could crush you. If I were to place your dreams in your hands before maturity, those dreams could become a burden. I delay not because I forget, but because I am merciful. Do not compare your journey with anyone else's. The path I lead you on is unique, unlike any other. Others may obtain what they desire quickly, but that does not mean they are walking in my plan. Many things that come easily may also vanish quickly, but what I prepare is enduring, unshakable, lasting for generations. When I build, it is not only for the comfort of the present, but as a foundation for the future. I have seen many rush through doors not meant for them, only to pay the price of brokenness. I do not want that for you. That is why I hold you back, why I delay, why I shape you, so that you will be ready when the true time comes. Remember what Philippians 1:6 says, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." What I have started, I will finish. My work for you has never been left unfinished. You often think that delay means failure, but in truth, delay is spiritual training. It is where I teach you patience, where I train you in trust, where I shape you into a vessel of endurance rather than fragility. It is in seasons of waiting that you learn to hear my voice more clearly. It is in times that seem meaningless that I plant wisdom no book could ever teach. It is in my silence that your heart learns to be still and discovers peace that depends on nothing else but me. Look at the lives of those I once used. Abraham waited many years before the promise was fulfilled. Joseph endured the pit and the prison before being placed on the throne. David fled through the wilderness before sitting on the royal seat. Even my son Jesus waited 30 years in preparation for a ministry that lasted only 3. Do you see now? Waiting is not abandonment. Waiting is the school of trust. Waiting is where warriors of faith are forged. Waiting is the essential season through which you are transformed. While you long for what is yet to come, I want you to give thanks for what you already have. Gratitude will keep your heart from bitterness. Gratitude will open your eyes to see that even in seasons of waiting, you are still being provided for, still being protected, still being loved. You are not abandoned in emptiness, you are being trained in the chamber of preparation. And one day when the door finally opens, you will realize that the waiting was never wasted. It prepared you to step through that door with wisdom and strength you did not possess before. My child, do not think that I delayed my promise. I am not slow as people count slowness. I am patient with you because I want you to be matured enough to receive its fulfillment. I will never forget my words. Once I have promised, I will surely accomplish it. But I will do it in my way and in my time, because my way is always better and my timing is always perfect. Place your trust in that faithfulness. Let peace beyond understanding guard your heart. So then, instead of rushing to find your own exit, allow me to guide each step. Instead of despairing over a door that has not yet opened, know that I am preparing the right key for the right moment. Instead of doubting, my love, trust that every moment of delay carries a spiritual reason. And when that day comes, when the promise is fulfilled, you will look back and see that every delay, every interruption, every silence was the very foundation for glory revealed. My beloved, I want you to understand this profound truth. What you call tragedy is often the very tool I use to shape your soul. You see pain, but I see birth. You see brokenness, but I see new foundations being laid. You see a chapter closing, but I see the opportunity to open the next. As a seed must die in the soil before it bears fruit, so must your life pass through seasons of loss to produce an abundant harvest. I do not destroy you in trial. I refine you as gold in the fire. As 1 Peter 1:7 says, these trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. So when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor on the day when Jesus Christ is revealed. My child, I know you have wept until you thought your tears were spent, until you believed you could not rise again. But look closer, it was in those very tears that you learned to kneel and pray. It was in those lonely nights that you heard my voice more clearly. It was in those blocked paths that you learned to grasp my hand instead of relying on your own strength. Trials do not come to crush you. They come to open your eyes to see that I am your true source of strength. If everything were always easy, you would soon forget me. But it is in difficulty that you discover my grace is sufficient and my power is made perfect in your weakness. Do not fear sudden shakes. They do not come to destroy, but to reveal what cannot be shaken. When the ground trembles beneath your feet, that is when I show you the only foundation that will never fail, myself. When all that you once trusted collapses, you will learn that I alone am unchanging. Remember the words in Hebrews 1:2-7:28, the removing of what can be shaken, that is, created things, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. Therefore, since we are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful, and so worship God acceptably with reverence and awe. What you are losing cannot compare with what I am preparing to give you. You once thought interruptions were enemies of peace, but they are invitations into deeper places with me. When a door closes, do not keep pounding on it. Trust that I closed it because I know a better way lies ahead. When a relationship ends, do not think you are abandoned. Trust that I am clearing what no longer serves your growth. When a dream shatters, do not despair. Trust that I am replacing it with a greater dream, one that aligns with the destiny I have set before you. You only see the fleeting moment, but I see the entire picture. You see only the present, but I see the past, present, and future woven together. If something truly belongs to you, because I have promised it, no power can snatch it from your hand. If it no longer rests in your hand, then it was never meant for you within my good plan. I do not take away to leave you empty. I take away to fill you with something better. I do not close to bring you sorrow. I close to protect you from greater pain. I do not permit shaking to break you. I permit it to make you stand firm on an unshakable foundation. Remember, my child, I am the one who can turn evil into good. Joseph said to his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Genesis 5:0-20. And that is true for you as well. What the enemy meant to destroy you, I will transform into a tool to lift you higher. Failures will become lessons. Tears will become seeds of joy. Wounds will become testimonies. Nothing is wasted in my hands. I redeem even what you thought was lost. Let your soul rest in the certainty that I have never let go of you. You may not understand, but you can believe. You may not see, but you can walk. True faith is not believing after seeing, but believing even when nothing is visible. That is what pleases me. When you dare to trust me, in the dark light will break forth. When you dare to praise me in the storm, peace will flow. When you dare to surrender to me, in uncertainty, you will step into true freedom. Do not let fear steal the joy of today. Do not let the past chain your steps. Do not let an unclear future fill you with panic. I am the God of yesterday, today, and forever unchanging. I know exactly where you are. I know exactly what you need, and I know the precise moment when the right time will arrive. Your task is not to control, but to surrender. Not to predict, but to trust. Not to cling, but to release. When you do, you will see miracles unfold in ordinary life. You will see doors open at the most unexpected moments. You will see provision overflow when you feel the emptiest. My child, this is what I want you to remember. No trial is meaningless. No tears are wasted. No shaking is without purpose. All are working for your good and for my glory. And when you look back, you will realize that the very things that hurt you most became the things that transformed you the deepest. The very fears that once paralyzed you became the places where you encountered me the most. And in the moments you thought you lost everything, you discovered that having me meant you lacked nothing. My beloved child, I speak to you today because I do not want you to repeat the mistakes of those who strayed. I have seen many who began with fire but ended in ashes because they thought they could follow both me and the world. They lifted their lips in praise to me, yet their hearts chased after other desires. They gave me only a small portion, thinking it was enough, but soon realized that their souls remained unsatisfied. And when the flame within them burned low, they wandered weary, searching for what they had lost. My child, I do not want this to happen to you. I speak to awaken you so that you will not live in false comfort, but stay watchful, holding to faithfulness, so that nothing can steal what I have placed within you. I know there are times when you think doing a few spiritual things is enough to keep your soul safe. But my child, I have not called you to live half-heartedly. I am not seeking empty rituals. I am seeking surrender. Do not deceive yourself into thinking that a little prayer, a few songs, or a small offering is enough to sustain your relationship with me. My child, I want more than fragments. I want all of you. I want your joy and your sorrow, your light and your shadows, the parts you boast in and the parts you are ashamed of. When you bring me everything, only then can I fully transform you. Look back at Israel of old. They saw great miracles, the Red Sea parted, manna falling from heaven, a cloud by day, fire by night. Yet even after seeing my power with their own eyes, they hardened their hearts, they complained, they ran after other gods. They let doubt and desire lead them away from my path, and in the end they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. My child, that story is not only distant history, it is a warning for you today. If you do not remain faithful, you too could wander astray. Do not let your heart harden through familiarity. Do not let miracles become common in your sight. Do not let grace become something you take lightly. My child, I call you out of the cycle of compromise. The world will always tempt you to be indifferent to me, to stay busy with what fades away. It will make you believe you can serve me while clinging to the desires of the flesh. But I have spoken in Matthew 6:2-4, no one can serve two masters. You cannot walk in light while still holding on to darkness. You cannot say you love me while binding your heart to what I have warned against. You must choose, either walk fully in me or go your own way. I know the pull of the world is strong. It sparkles, it tastes sweet, but only for a moment before it disappears. What comes from me, however, is eternal. If you choose the world, your soul will dry up. But if you choose me, you will receive abundant life, true peace and joy no one can take from you. I do not promise an easy road, but I promise you will not walk it alone. I do not promise a life free from storms, but I promise the storm will not consume you. I do not promise to give you everything you want, but I promise you will have me, and I am enough. What you sow today will shape tomorrow's harvest. If you sow indifference, you will reap emptiness. If you compromise, you will reap disappointment. But if you sow faithfulness, you will reap blessings. If you sow faith, you will reap breakthroughs. If you surrender, you will reap transformation. You cannot deceive me with outward acts, for I see your heart. What I desire is not perfection, but an honest heart longing to dwell in me. Stay alert, for an enemy is always prowling, seeking to steal your faith. He does not come in obvious terrors, but through distractions, weariness, indifference. He whispers that you can wait another day before returning to me. But my child, every day spent delaying is a day lost from stepping into fullness. Do not let that deception rob you of your appointed time. The time is now. Do not wait until everything collapses before running to me. Run now while my voice still echoes in your heart. I call you to be watchful. Do not repeat the mistakes of the lost. Learn from the past so that you will not fall into the same snares. Keep your heart tender, so my word does not fall on hard stone. Keep your eyes fixed on me, so you are not distracted by false lights of the world. Keep your feet steady on the path of righteousness, so you do not wander into barren deserts. If you remain faithful, you will see my faithfulness fulfilled. If you surrender, you will find my peace covering you. If you obey, you will see my promises become reality in your life. My beloved child, I speak to you once more. Compromise is the silent enemy, and it is what has caused many to fall who once began strong in me. No one collapses in a single moment. They fall by small steps, drifting from the path of righteousness. At first it is only a little distraction, a little neglect, a small acceptance of wrong as if harmless. But my child, these very small things become cracks through which the enemy seeps in, widening the gap into a deep chasm. I have seen many souls confident in their own strength, yet, because they failed to stay watchful, they fell into the snare. As 1 Corinthians 10:12 says, "So if you think you are standing firm, be careful that you don't fall." My child, do not rely on your own strength. Lean on me step by step. I remind you of King Solomon, who was given wisdom beyond all others. He began in obedience, yet gradually allowed his heart to lean toward foreign gods through his wives. He did not turn from me all at once, but just a little compromise was enough to pull him away from the light. In the end, even his glory faded into bitterness. My child, learn this lesson: talent, wisdom, or success cannot keep you standing if your heart drifts from me. Only daily faithfulness, continual surrender will guard your soul against the snares. I also remind you of Jerusalem, once called the city of my dwelling. But when my people chased idols, when they worshipped with their lips, while their hearts were far away, that city became ashes. Do not think that because you once received grace, you can ignore my warning. Do not think that because you once saw miracles, you can live in spiritual laziness. If you do not stay watchful, the flame in you can also burn out. This is why I call you to guard your heart, for from it flows the wellspring of life. Proverbs 4:2-3. I know there are things you think are harmless, but they slowly corrode your soul. A small lie, a compromise for personal gain, an action you think no one sees, these all pile up into chains that bind. You cannot cling to impurity and still expect to be filled with holiness. You cannot nurture bad habits and still expect freedom. You cannot fill your mind with deception and still expect to hear my voice clearly. My child, be decisive. I do not call you to live halfway, I call you to live wholly. Do not repeat the mistake of those who thought they still had more time. The enemy often whispers, "Just one more time," and many have believed that lie. But that one more time became a snare. That one more time grew into habit. That one more time enslaved them. Remember, compromise never stops at one boundary. It always wants more. It always seeks to take all of you. And if you do not stay awake, it will slowly consume you until the flame in you is reduced to ashes. My child, I give you this warning in love: do not let your lamp burn out. Add oil through prayer. Keep the fire through my word. Feed your soul through fellowship with me. If you do not act intentionally, the distractions of the world will sweep you away. Like the 10 virgins in Matthew 25:5 were wise and prepared oil, but 5 were foolish and did not. When the hour came, the foolish ones ran to find oil, but it was too late. My child, do not wait until the last moment to prepare. Be watchful now, for no one knows the hour of my return. Do not take lightly the calling I have placed on your life. The enemy does not care about trivial matters. He cares about the seed I have planted in you. He knows that seed can yield a harvest that impacts generations, so he will do all he can to corrupt it. He will stir doubt, discouragement, and distraction. But if you keep your heart faithful, if you cling to me, no power can steal what I have sown in you. I know this is not easy. I know you live in a world full of temptation, where wrong is exalted and what is mine is mocked. But I also know you have my Spirit within you, the one who gives you strength beyond pressure, who reminds you when you are about to stray, who draws you back when you are weak. You are not alone in the journey of holiness. All of heaven is cheering for you, and I am right beside you. Therefore, decide today. Do not delay. Do not retreat. Do not hesitate. Choose to walk fully with me. Let me cut away what does not belong. Let me burn away the chains you cannot break yourself. Let me rekindle the fire in your heart so that it shines brightly and never goes out. And as you walk in faithfulness, you will see my faithfulness revealed in marvelous ways. My beloved, I have spoken many times to warn you because I love you, and I do not want you to fall into the cycle of those who lost their way. Remember, spiritual apathy is the most dangerous trap because it does not arrive with loud destruction, but with quiet dullness, slowly cooling your fire until your heart grows hard. The enemy does not need to destroy you instantly. He only needs to steal your flame little by little until your heart becomes numb. But I want your fire to burn bright, not for a season only, but for the entire journey. Stay awake and endure, for only those who remain faithful to the end will receive the crown of life. Revelation 2:1-0. My child, I have given you freedom to choose, and every day you are sowing decisions for your future. Do not despise the small choices, for they shape the greater road ahead. You can choose to walk in the light or turn into darkness. You can choose to trust me or chase what fades. You can choose faithfulness or surrender to compromise. You can choose to keep the lamp burning or let it die out. And my child, the outcome of these choices will affect not only your present, but also the generations that follow. Your yes today can open doors of blessing for your descendants, while hesitation or betrayal can leave burdens upon them. I remind you again, nothing is hidden from me. I see you when you are weary in silence, when you wrestle in your mind, when you are tempted in loneliness. I know every battle within you. And because I know, I speak to lift you up so you will not fall like those before you. I do not speak in condemnation, but in love and mercy. I want you to awaken while there is still time, not when it is too late. My beloved child, remember, obedience is not a single act, but a way of life. It is not a burst of emotion in a fleeting moment, but a daily choice. Those who strayed once had their moments of passion, but because they did not root themselves deeply in me when the storms rose, they were swept away. Learn from this. Do not begin only in emotion, but remain steadfast in faith. Do not start with fire, only to let it fade. Feed that fire continually with my word and prayer. Do not offer me part of your life, but give me your whole being. I know at times you feel too small to resist the great temptations around you. But I want you to remember this: you are not alone. I have placed my Spirit within you as your helper, your reminder, your strengthener. He will guide you when you lose your way, give you strength when you are weak, and draw you back when you are close to giving up. You do not fight alone. All of heaven stands on your side. And I, the Creator, the Almighty, still hold your hand in every step you take. Do not take my words lightly today. A door is opening, but another is closing. This is the hour when you must decide. I do not want you to repeat the footsteps of those who lost their direction. I want you to be a living witness to the world that faithfulness still remains, that light still overcomes darkness, that hope is stronger than despair. You are called to be different, to walk the narrow path few will find, but it is the path that leads to life. Matthew 7:1-4. Do not let small habits become chains that pull you away from me. Do not let the noise of the world drown out my voice. Do not let fear hold you still when I am calling you to move. You were created for a great purpose, and no power can stop it if you remain faithful. But if you compromise, if you turn back, you will lose what I have prepared for you. I do not want this to happen, so I call you to awaken and endure. My child, I speak these words to encourage you, not to weigh you down. You are not abandoned. You are not too far gone to return. You are not too broken to be restored. If you hear my voice today, respond. Open your heart, say yes, release what you are still holding on to. And when you do, you will see me do far more than you imagined. You will see the fire within you ignite again. You will see chains broken. You will see dead dreams come alive. You will see blessings overflow, not only on you, but on those around you. Do not slumber in compromise. Do not repeat the mistakes of wandering. Choose the path of life. Choose faithfulness. Choose me. For I chose you before the foundation of the world, and I speak with certainty. If you remain faithful to the end, nothing, no suffering, no loss, no power will ever steal the reward I have prepared for you. My beloved child, your life is shaped by doors. Some doors I open to lead you into new opportunities, and some doors I close to protect you from dangers you cannot see. But many times you have wept over doors I have shut thinking I abandoned you, when in truth it was mercy. I do not close to harm you, I close because I see the pit behind it, and when I open it is not by chance but by my appointed time to bring you into the place I have prepared. As Revelation 3:7 says, what he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open. My child, the doors of your life are not in human hands, they are in mine. You have wondered why plans you cherished crumbled, why relationships you valued slipped away, why the structures you built fell in a moment. You thought it senseless, but, my child, I want you to know I never act without purpose. I see what you cannot. I know the snares the enemy has laid ahead. I see deceptions disguised as opportunities. That is why I blocked the way to save you. If I had not stopped you, your pain would have been greater later. If I had not closed it, you would have been destroyed by wrong choices. So do not let the tears of regret blind your heart to the love that protects you. Often you have tried to go back and reopen doors I have closed. You thought perhaps you missed your chance. Perhaps you did not try hard enough. But my child, you do not need to reopen what I have sealed, for it is no longer your path. I closed it so you would release the past. I closed it so you would learn to let go. I closed it so you would no longer bind yourself to what no longer belongs to you. And when you let go, you will see that I am leading you to a new door, wider, better, already prepared for you. You cannot step into the new while clinging to the old. Remember Jonah, who tried to run from my will and chose his own door. He thought he could build a way for himself, but the result was a storm. Only when he surrendered and admitted that his way could not prevail over mine did the way of escape open to him. My child, that lesson remains true for you today. Do not force open what I have shut. Do not walk into the road I have warned against. Do not build your own doorway to confusion. Trust that I know what you need, and you will be safe when you walk in my arrangement. My beloved child, I want you to learn how to discern which doors I open and which doors are mere temptations. Not every door that glitters comes from me. Some doors are set up by the enemy to bind you in chains. They may promise comfort, wealth, or fame, but behind them lies slavery. You can only recognize the door I open when your heart is anchored in me. When you pray, when you seek my word, when you listen to my voice within, you will know which steps have truly been ordained for you. As Proverbs 3:5-6 teaches, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. I do not only want you to accept the doors I close, but to rejoice in their closing. For every time I shut a door, I am removing a burden you do not need. Every time I close one, I am protecting you from harm you cannot see. Every time I shut something off, I am making room for something new. Do not mourn what has left. Do not be sorrowful over what failed. Lift your head, for I am the one who holds the keys, and I close only to open something far better. Remember, the most important door is the door of your heart. Today I am standing at the door and knocking. Will you let me in? Do not only open the tidy, presentable places, open the hidden corners, the wounds, the secrets you have never dared to show. I long to enter those places to heal, to transform, to rewrite your story. When the door of your heart opens to me, no other door can block the flow of my blessing. Do not be unsettled when everything changes. Know that I am the one who closes and opens with infinite wisdom. Walk forward in trust, for you will never be abandoned. Every door I open is a promise, and every door I close is protection. If you obey, your life will no longer be ruled by chance, but by a perfect divine plan. My beloved, I know that sometimes you feel confused by sudden changes. A door opens only to shut quickly. A path you thought led to success ends in a dead end. You see disorder, but I see design. You see failure, but I see redirection. You see obstacles, but I see preparation. I never act randomly. Everything I permit carries a divine purpose. When I open it is a blessing's time. When I close it is for protection. When I wait, it is for training. All is woven into the plan I wrote for your life before time began. Learn, my child, to distinguish between the doors I open and the ones man constructs. Some opportunities appear dazzling on the outside, but inside are empty. Some paths sound reasonable, but end in weariness and dryness. Yet the doors I open bring peace, even if your circumstances remain unchanged. They are not always wide, but they are always secure. They are not always easy, but they are always on time. When you walk through my doors, your spirit will know the confirmation. This is the way appointed. As Isaiah 30:21 says, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." The real test comes when I close a door you deeply cherished. In those moments, disappointment tempts you to believe I no longer hear. But remember, not a single tear falls unnoticed. I store every drop in my bottle. I see the pain in your heart, and I never dismiss it. Yet I will not allow that pain to keep you chained to the past. I want you to move forward to the door I have prepared ahead. And my child, to step through the new you, must let go of the old. No one can enter a new chapter while clutching the former one. Think of Abraham, whom I called to leave his homeland. He had to let go of all that was familiar to step into a land he did not know. The only thing he carried was my promise. Yet it was that obedience that opened the door of blessing for countless generations. If he had clung to the old, he would never have seen my fulfillment. And so it is with you. I call you to release what is past, so you can embrace what I am making new. Believe this: every door I open is always better than what you leave behind. My beloved child, I know that waiting is hard. When you stand before a closed door and the new one has not yet opened, you feel suspended in emptiness, as if forgotten. Yet this is the very place where faith is tested. It is in the waiting that you learn trust is not anchored in circumstances, but in my nature. I am faithful. I do not change. If I have promised, I will fulfill it. If I have begun, I will finish. You may not know when, but you can rest assured that I will never forget my words. Remember, the doors I open and close are not only about you, they affect many others. When I open a door for you, it is not just for your blessing, but as a way out for those your life will touch. When I close a door, it is not only to protect you, but also to shield those around you. Your life is intertwined with many other souls, and my decisions for you carry eternal weight. Do not look at things only through the narrow lens of self. See them through the larger vision of what I am orchestrating. My child, know that true joy comes when you step through the right door I open. You will sense in your spirit that this is the time I have appointed. You will feel the Spirit's companionship in every step. Even when obstacles arise, you will still have strength to go on because it is the path I prepared. But if you force open a door I have closed, you will feel fatigue, unrest, and emptiness. That is the sign you are walking against my will. Learn to listen, to be sensitive to my voice within, so you may know when to step forward and when to stop. Trust is the key. You do not need to understand everything to move forward. You need only to believe that I am the one who knows all things. As you keep trusting, you will see my providence in every detail. You will see that each closed door was only a step leading to a greater one. You will see that each delay was really preparation. You will see how all things weave together in eternal wisdom. So do not grieve what is lost. Do not be unsettled by what has not come yet. Know that I am guiding every door. Place your trust in me, for I am the one who holds the keys. Wait with hope, for I have never forsaken a soul that places its trust in me. Walk with confidence, for the doors I open will lead you into a new season filled with life, peace, and fullness. My beloved, I speak again to steady your heart. You do not need to fear when doors shift around you. You do not need to tremble when a path closes, for that does not mean the end of all things. On the contrary, it is proof that I am moving you into a new journey. Remember, you do not live by chance. Every movement, even the smallest, is under my sovereign hand. I am the one who holds the keys. I open and close in eternal wisdom, and no power can alter my plan. I know at times you regret what has closed. You think that if only you had tried harder or held on longer, perhaps the door would still be open. But my child, if I have allowed it to close, then I have already prepared something better ahead. You do not need to waste strength reopening what I have shut. Instead, focus your strength on stepping into the door I am about to open. Every closure is meant to free you from what no longer serves you. Every opening is meant to bring you closer to your destiny. Do not view change with fear. See it with faith. I have seen many cling to doors I have closed, and the result was a cycle of disappointment. They would not release the past, so they never entered the future. They let regret cloud their vision and miss the opportunities I placed right before them. My child, do not be like them. Release what I have shut. Open your heart to receive the news. You will find that when you stop staring at the closed door, you will notice another opening before you, radiant and full of promise. Remember my words in Isaiah 4:3-1-8-19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. I do not want you chained to old memories. I am doing something new, and it has already begun within you. You cannot move forward if your eyes keep looking back. Fix your gaze on what I am doing now, and you will experience renewal in every part of your life. When I open a door, you must have the courage to step through. Sometimes it looks frightening because it is ground you have never walked. Yet it is there you will see my power at work. It is there you will see my provision overflow. It is there you will see miracles you never thought possible. I do not open doors for you to stand and stare. I open them for you to enter. If you hesitate in fear, you may miss the opportunity. But if you step in faith, you will find everything already prepared. Just as Joshua led the people across the Jordan and the waters parted only when they placed their first foot in, so it is with you. Miracles unfold when you dare to move. My child, I do not want you living in hesitation. I want you to walk with confidence because I go before you. I not only open the door, I also walk through it with you. You will never face it alone. Remember my promise in Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. You do not need to know every detail you need, only to know I am there. You do not need to control the outcome, you need only to trust that I am making all things work together for good. And my child, learn this as well. When I open a door, it does not mean there will be no challenges, but trust that the challenges are not meant to destroy you, but to strengthen you. Every step you take through a new door will bring you face to face with the unfamiliar, but that is precisely where growth happens. I do not lead you to a safe place to sleep, but to a place where you can fulfill the potential I have placed within you. And I know exactly what you can bear, for I have already given you enough strength to finish the journey. So do not fear the closed door, and do not hesitate before the open one. Do not cling to the past, and do not tremble before the future. Walk forward in faith, for I am your guide. Let me hold your hand, leading you through each door, and you will see that your life is not a string of accidents, but a journey carefully woven by my love and faithfulness. Remember, I am the one who opens and closes, and everything I do is perfect. My beloved child, I want you to engrave this truth upon your heart. Nothing in your life is meaningless in my hands. Every tear you shed I keep. Every wound you carry I see. Every failure you endure I know. And I declare that I can use all of these to accomplish something great in your life. You think you have lost too much, but I say that those very losses will become seeds for a harvest of blessings. You think failures have closed every opportunity, but I say that those failures are opening the way for a new beginning. You think wounds have destroyed you, but I say they are shaping you into someone deeper, stronger, and more in my image. My child, I know there are moments when you sit in the dark asking, why did this happen? Why did the Lord allow me to go through this? I never promised you would never cry, but I promised your tears would not be in vain. I never promised you would never fall, but I promised. Every time you fall, I will reach out to lift you. I never promised you would never feel pain, but I promised no wound can go beyond my grace. And the wonder is this, when those wounds are healed by me, they will become powerful testimonies of my strength. Remember Joseph, my child, betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, falsely accused and imprisoned. Yet I did not let those become his end. On the contrary, I used them to lift him to a place of honor so that many lives could be saved. Joseph said to his brothers in Genesis 5:20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." That story is your story today. What the enemy meant to destroy you, I will turn into a blessing. What you thought was the end, I will make the beginning. Think also of David. He was hunted living as an outcast, betrayed. Yet in those wilderness days, he learned to trust me completely. In the dark, he wrote psalms of power that have fed generations. Without the desert, there would have been no songs of faith. My child, your hardships will also bear fruit. In suffering, you will learn to pray more deeply. In pain, you will learn to comfort others. In failure, you will learn humility. And in loss, you will learn to treasure what truly comes from me. I want you to stop focusing on what is lost and start seeing what I am building. You see fragments, but I see a new picture forming. You see dead ends, but I see another path prepared. You see darkness, but I see light breaking through. Remember, I am the Redeemer. I do not let anything become meaningless. I take chaos and bring order. I take ruin and bring restoration. I take death and bring life. As Romans 8:28 declares, we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. I know at times you feel too broken to be healed. But hear me, there is no wound too deep for my healing, no scar too ugly that I cannot turn into a mark of victory, no night too thick that my dawn cannot chase away. My grace is not fragile. It is strong enough to cover mountains of sin, deep enough to reach the depths of despair, new enough to begin again at any moment. You are not destined to live broken. You are destined to become a testimony of restoration. My child, believe that what the enemy has stolen I can restore many times over. I believe that the years that feel wasted I can repay with an abundant harvest. Believe that even when you stray, I can use it to bring you back to the right path. I never abandon what I have begun. I start not to leave unfinished. I sow to reap, I promise to fulfill. Do not fix your eyes only on loss, look to the one who restores all things. Do not only count your tears, believe they are seeds of joy. Do not only hold on to wounds, place them in my hands so I can make them testimonies. Do not only see endings, recognize the beginnings hidden within. For I assure you, everything in my hands has purpose, and everything can be turned to good. My beloved, your life is like a mosaic, and only from a distance will you see its full beauty. The pieces by themselves confuse you, shapes, jagged colors, mismatched. But as I fit them together piece by piece, they create a masterpiece. Failures, losses, hurts, All are pieces I use. You may wish to throw them away, but without them the picture is incomplete. Hear me clearly, not one experience in your life is wasted. Every single one I use to build you into a vessel of glory. Remember Moses. He once tried to save my people in his own strength, and it ended in failure and exile. Human eyes saw defeat, but I saw training. 40 years in the wilderness were not wasted. There he learned patience, dependence on me, and how to shepherd a small flock before leading a nation. My child, the seasons you think are meaningless are classrooms for your mission ahead. Do not despise quiet seasons, they are preparation. And remember Peter, he once vowed never to deny me, yet denied me 3 times before dawn. He wept bitterly in failure, yet I did not abandon him. I restored him, forgave him, and entrusted him to lead the early church. That very failure shaped him into a humble shepherd, compassionate and strong to lift the weak. Without failure, he would not have had the wisdom or tenderness to serve. My child, I will also use your falls to shape you into one who strengthens others. So do not see failure as the end. See it as a stepping stone. See it as a classroom where I am teaching you. You are not defined by mistakes. You are defined by redemption. You are not limited by the past. You are led by my hand. You are not bound by wrong turns. You are freed by my grace. As I said in 2 Corinthians 1:2-9, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. My child, it is in weakness that you see my strength. It is in failure that you see my restoration. My beloved child, the enemy does not have the final say over your life. He may plot, but I am the one who determines. He may scheme to harm, but I hold the power to turn his plans into good. He may cause you to stumble, but I can use the fall to teach you to stand firmer. He may bring loss, but I can repay many times over. Remember Job, who declared after all his suffering, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Job 1:1. And in the end, I restored to him double what he once had. My child, the same is true for you. When you look back at your wounds, I do not want you to see only pain. I want you to see my love sustaining you. When you remember your falls, do not dwell only on shame. See my hand that lifted you up. When you recall seasons of loss, do not focus only on lack. See my provision that carried you through. Every memory, even the painful ones, can become a testimony if you place them in my hands. Every tear becomes a seed of joy. Every wound becomes a foundation for healing. Every failure becomes the building block of new strength. Never think your years have been wasted. Even in the seasons you wandered, I can redeem them. I can turn wrong paths into testimonies of mercy. I can transform empty years into treasures of wisdom. You may think you have gone too far, but I declare that one step back toward me is enough to find I have been waiting there all along. My grace knows no limits. It does not run out, it does not grow old, it does not vanish. It is new every morning. It is always enough to begin again. You do not need to fix yourself before coming to me. Come as you are with your wounds, your failures, your tears not yet dry. Lay them at my feet, and I will turn them into treasures. Offer your weakness, and I will make it strength. Hand over your broken pieces, and I will craft them into a masterpiece. You will become living proof that I turn ashes into beauty, mourning into joy, brokenness into praise. So stop condemning yourself for the past. Stop lamenting over failure. Stop fearing loss. Trust that I am using it all to draw you closer to eternal purpose. You are not wasted, not forgotten, not abandoned. You are being shaped, trained, and prepared for a new season. And when that season comes, you will see that everything that once made you weep became the very foundation of great joy. My beloved, I affirm once more, nothing in your life is wasted. Even the darkest chapters, even the most painful falls, are raw material for my great work. You do not need to erase the past to begin again. Hand it to me, and I will write a new chapter of hope with it. Believe that my hand can turn ashes into beauty, tears into songs of praise, despair into milestones of restoration. As Isaiah 6:1-3 promises, I give to those who mourn a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. You may think some things are beyond repair, but I do not see brokenness as you do. You see an ending, I see a beginning. You see ruins, I see a foundation. You see devastation, I see fertile soil for new seeds. I do not merely patch what is broken, I create something new. I do not only heal wounds, I turn them into living testimony of my power. When others look at you, they will no longer see only what was shattered, but the glory of my work in you. My child, stop tormenting yourself over past mistakes. When you repented, I forgave you. Your sins were cast into the depths of forgetfulness. I do not hold them against you any longer. But too often you still condemn yourself, weighed down by shame. Let it go. When I forgive, you are free. Do not chain yourself with what I have already broken. Do not live as a slave when you have been set free. You are no longer a victim of the past. You are a victor in the present. I have called you child of light, set apart, my workmanship in progress. Understand this too. Even your missteps can become powerful testimonies. When you share how I rescued you, others will be encouraged. When you tell how I healed you, others will find hope. When you declare that I turned weakness into strength, many souls will be lifted. Do not be ashamed of your story. Place it in my hands, and I will use it as a key to open freedom for others. What the enemy meant for harm, I will turn into a weapon in your hand to defeat him. Rest assured, restoration does not always come in a moment. Sometimes I move instantly, but often I work gradually, step by step. Each day a little healing. Each season a little transformation. And one day when you look back, you will marvel at how far you have come. You thought you would never rise again, yet now you stand. You thought you would remain broken forever, yet now you walk in new strength. You thought you lost everything, yet now you see blessings overflowing beyond what you asked. Learn also to give thanks even for the trials. They have shaped you, they have made you strong. They have taught you to cling to me. Without pain, you would not grasp true joy. Without tears, you would not treasure laughter. Without darkness, you would not know the value of light. Everything you have endured is weaving an eternal story. And when you stand before me, you will understand nothing was ever wasted. My beloved child, step out of the shadow of the past. Lift up your head and look ahead. I have prepared for you a new season, where old tears will become rain to water seeds of hope. I have prepared a new path where old wounds will become testimonies of healing. I have prepared a future where past failures will become powerful witnesses to my restoring power. You do not need to look back with sorrow, look forward with hope. I assure you, the enemy does not have the authority to write the final chapter of your story. He may intrude upon a few lines, but I am the author. He may cause unexpected twists, but I am the one who decides the ending. And I have decreed that your ending is victory, life, and glory. Hold this truth as an anchor for your soul. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And if I have begun a good work for you, I will bring it to completion. Do not let pain define you. Do not let failure restrain you. Do not let loss bind you. You are not destined to live among ashes. You are destined to wear a crown. You are not destined to walk in shame. You are destined to live in freedom. You are not destined to tremble in fear. You are destined to shine in the dark. Believe this. Everything in your life, both the good and the hard, will come together to reveal my glory. My beloved, I speak to you today so you will understand that you were not created to merely exist. You were not born to drag through days in exhaustion waiting for time to pass. I formed you for a purpose far greater. Within you I have planted the seed of abundant life, and I call you to step out of survival and into the freedom I give. You are not defined by burdens, wounds, or lies the world has placed upon you. You are defined by me, the one who made you, who calls you by name, and who has placed in you a purpose no one can steal. My child, I do not want you living in constant fear. I do not want you to wake each day wondering, what disaster will strike today? I want you to rise each morning with the certainty that I am with you, that I hold your future, and that nothing can touch you outside of my permission. Remember what I declared in John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. What I give is not fragile survival. It is abundant, overflowing, everlasting life. True freedom does not come from having all the answers, but from knowing the one who holds them. It does not come from controlling every detail, but from surrendering control to me. It does not come from escaping every trial, but from walking in trust even in the midst of trials. I have seen many bound in spiritual chains, chains of fear, of shame, of unforgiven guilt, of past failures. But I came to break every chain. I bore disgrace so you could walk free. I was wounded so you could be healed. I died and rose again so you would no longer be a slave, but an heir of eternal life. My child, I want you to look at your life and realize that the chains that once held you no longer have power. Walk as one who is free, not as one still captive. Do not let painful memories dictate your present. Do not let the negative words of others shape your identity. Do not let fear of failure stop you from trying again. Let this truth fill your heart: you have been set free. Darkness no longer binds you. You have been brought into the kingdom of light. And this freedom is not for you alone. It is so you can be a light to the world. I want you to carry hope to the hopeless, encouragement to the weary, and good news to those lost in the dark. You are living proof that I can transform a life. Your very presence, your story, your faith will become a lamp that guides others home. My beloved child, remember, this freedom does not mean the absence of trials, but it means that trials no longer have the power to define you. You may face storms without being drowned, for I am your refuge. You may endure pain without being crushed, for my grace upholds you. You may encounter betrayal without growing bitter, for my love heals your heart. You may walk through darkness without falling, for my light shines upon your path. This is true freedom, the freedom to live unshaken by fear, shame, or despair. My child, rise up in your new identity. Put on the robe of righteousness I have given you. Walk as a child of the King, not as one abandoned. Speak as one with authority, not as a slave. Pray as an heir, not as a beggar. You were created to walk in strength, in peace, and in joy. Do not let anything steal that identity from you. Do not believe the lies that say you are too weak, too late, or too broken. I declare that you are a new creation, renewed, and destined for a radiant future in me. The world will try to define you by what you do, by what you have, or by what others think of you, but I define you by the love I have for you. You are my beloved, and that never changes, regardless of circumstances. You do not need to strive to become someone for acceptance. You are already accepted. You do not need to prove your worth. You are already worthy. For I paid the price with the life of my Son to redeem you. You do not need the approval of the world. You have mine, and that is enough for all your days. So live as one who is forgiven, freed, and loved. Let your life be a testimony to the world that I am the God who transforms. Let your voice become a witness to those wandering in the dark. Let your light shine in the deepest places of shadow. For this is why I created you, not for fragile survival, but to flourish in my presence and to be a source of life to many. My beloved, understand this. The freedom I give is not a passive state for you to simply enjoy, but a call to rise and walk. This freedom is the foundation for you to face challenges, to step into the doors I open, and to become a living testimony of my power to transform. Do not think freedom means escaping difficulty. True freedom is walking through trials with peace, standing firm in storms without being swept away, facing enemies without fear, because you know I am with you. Many live only in forgiveness but never truly step into freedom. They know they are forgiven, yet they let the past keep them bound. They believe I have pardoned their sins, yet they still carry shame. They leave the shadows but never fully enter the light. My child, I want you not only to know you are forgiven, but also to know you are free. Forgiveness removes sin, but freedom breaks chains. Forgiveness makes you clean, but freedom makes you strong. Forgiveness is the beginning, but freedom opens the journey ahead. And I call you to live fully in that freedom. Do not let fear dictate your steps. Fear is an invisible chain, yet powerfully binding it has kept many from stepping into their calling. So many have missed opportunities because they feared failure, rejection, or the unknown. But I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Fear is not from me. It is the enemy's tool to keep you from true freedom. Stand up, my child, and do not let fear rule. Let faith be the flame that lights your path. Remember Joshua and my people as they stood before Jericho. The towering walls made many tremble, but I called them to walk in faith. They did not need mighty weapons, only obedience to my command, to march and shout, and the walls fell. My child, the strongholds before you may seem impossible, but if you walk in freedom and faith, no wall can stand. You do not need to rely on your own strength. You need only to rely on me. When you act on my word, every obstacle will become evidence of my power. True freedom also means you no longer live to please others. You do not need to prove yourself to the world. You do not need to change to fit human expectations. You need only to live to please me. And when you live for me, you will find true satisfaction. You will no longer be dragged down by others' opinions. You will no longer be crushed by rejection. You will no longer be burdened by pressures and demands. You will be free to be who you are, the one I created, nothing more, nothing less. Right now, I call you to become a witness of this freedom. The world is filled with souls bound by invisible chains. They smile outwardly, but are broken inside. They succeed outwardly, but are empty within. They are searching for a way out, but do not know where to find it. And you, the one who has experienced freedom in me, will become a living testimony to show them the true path. You do not need eloquent sermons to change someone. Your life itself, how you walk in peace, how you forgive, how you love, is the strongest testimony. My child, this freedom also carries responsibility. It does not allow you to live recklessly, but calls you to live with purpose. It does not release you to return to sin, but to walk in righteousness. It does not make you selfish, but positions you as a channel of blessing for others. As Galatians 5:1-3 says, "You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love." My child, the freedom in me is not for you to live for yourself, but to love, to serve, and to expand my kingdom. Walk with courage. Each morning when you wake, remember that I have given you a new opportunity to live in this freedom. Rise from your bed not with burdens, but with expectation. Look at the new day not with anxiety, but with hope. Believe that whatever happens, I am with you. And when you keep your mind fixed on my presence, nothing can steal the peace within you. Beloved child, you were not created to live in the shadow of fear or in the chains of the past. You were created to live in the light, in freedom, and in the noble calling I have ordained for you. Everything you experience, both joy and tears, both victories and failures, are not outside of my plan. All are being used by me to shape, to train, and to cause you to reflect my glory. You are not the product of chance. You are the work of my intention woven together with eternal love and purpose. Remember, freedom is not merely an idea but a reality you can live every day. It is a reminder that you are no longer held by sin, that you no longer carry shame, that you are no longer bound by fear. You have been set free to love without fear of betrayal, to hope without fear of disappointment, to walk without fear of falling. For even when you fall, I will lift you up. Even when you are weak, I will give you strength. Even when you are confused, I will illuminate the path. And even when you feel lost, I am still there, closer than your very breath, to remind you that you belong to me. This freedom is also the key for you to step into spiritual abundance. I do not call you to live in inner lack, but in the overflow of peace, of joy, and of hope. The world may say success is measured by wealth, fame, or status, but I declare that true success is when you live according to the purpose I have set. It is when you go to sleep in peace and rise in hope. It is when you know that even if you do not possess what the world values, you have me, and I am enough. It is when you live to love, to serve, to sow hope, and these are the eternal treasures that no one can take away. My child, I have placed you in a community so that you may lift others and also be lifted. Use your freedom to bring healing to the broken, encouragement to the weary, and light to those in darkness. You will discover that in giving you are filled even more. In strengthening others, your own strength increases. In testifying about freedom, you yourself will grow firmer in it. Let your life become a flowing stream, not a closed reservoir. Each day brings you one step closer to the fulfillment of my promises. You may not see it all yet, but you are on the right path. You may not have experienced everything yet, but you are drawing nearer. And I assure you, he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. You do not need to fear missing out, for I am holding you. You do not need to fear failure, for I have promised to complete my work. You only need to be faithful in the small steps, and I will take care of the rest. My child, I know there are days when you feel weak, but do not let that cause you to doubt. For it is in weakness that my power is made perfect. When you have nothing left to cling to, you will see that I alone am enough to hold you. When you think you have reached your limit, you will see my grace exceed that limit. Remember, faith is not the absence of fear, but the choice to keep walking even while trembling. Faith is not knowing all the answers, but trusting in the one who does, and this faith will keep you to the very end. Live in the freedom I have given. Walk as one who has truly been set free. Praise in the night, pray in the storm, trust at every unexpected turn, for you know that nothing can separate you from my love. Romans 8:3-8:39. Neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor anything else in all creation can separate you from my eternal love. That love is your anchor, your strength, your source of life, and the reason you can walk unafraid. My child, you are destined for a story greater than you ever imagined. I am the author, and I am not finished writing. Every chapter, whether dark or radiant, has a purpose. Every passage, whether painful or joyful, draws you closer to the glorious ending. And when that day comes, you will see that no tear was wasted, no moment was in vain. All will stand as evidence of my faithfulness. Do not fear, do not doubt, do not hesitate. You have been set free. You have been called. You have been given abundant life. Let your life resound as a song declaring God is faithful, He is good, He is Redeemer, He is Restorer, He is Transformer. Let every step you take, every word you speak, every action you do reflect that glory. For you belong to me now and forevermore. Thank you for listening to today's message. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may receive the living word and build an unshakable faith and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.